So because my truck's the lowly tradesman trim level, I do not get a underhood light, even though you do have the space and the other end of the wiring harness is already on the truck. So today I'm going to throw one on. So I went out and got a little kit deal, which comes with the wiring harness and the light. Went into Napa and got some of these panel push pin deals to stick in the hole in the back of the light to attach it to the underside of the hood. The part numbers right there. I don't know if you can adequately see that or not, but regardless, I'll put the part numbers in the description. I find it kind of interesting that the light itself was made in Mexico, or made in USA, and the wiring harness was made in Mexico. So I think it should be pretty well straightforward. Like I said, the hole's already here. You can see where it should attach to the back to the hood there. And then you just have little points right in there for the, what the hell are they called? Tree. What's the hell the word I'm thinking of? Can't think of it right now, but the little clips that are in the wiring harness, and then obviously it plugs into this on the other end. So I think what I'm going to try to do first is just feed the wiring harness down through this slot, have it come down here. I should have enough rigidity in the harness, not have to like get a wire or something, so I don't really want to take off the underhood insulation. I might have to, because I don't know if some of these clips have corresponding holes in behind the insulation, so I need to, in order to do that, but we will cross that bridge when we get there. So I guess next step is get this thing routed towards this end first before we get the light all installed and attached. It does look like there's going to be a clip somewhere in there, which I'm kind of bummed about. But I'm just sort of going to guess by the positions of the clips or positions of the clips on the wiring harness as far as where they end up going. So right here on this guy, all I have to do, theoretically, I think, is, if yours isn't stuck, well, theoretically, I think you're just supposed to be able to push this red doodad back. Anyway, theoretically, I think you're supposed to be able to just push this back by hand, but mine doesn't seem to want to be going. Give a little bit of encouragement. Didn't take much. There we go. Okay. So just push down this black part right here a little bit. That should pop out. Took a little bit of work for me, but not too bad. And it should be as simple as clipping that in and sliding this little red lock piece back in place. Now it looks like this first one is going to go right in that hole. The second one is going to go right in this hole on the hood hinge. Third one right here in the hood itself. And there must be about 2 more in here. I'm not sure, I might just cheat and not put those in, just for the sake of not having to remove the underhood insulation piece here. For the sake of simplicity at this point, I'm just going to stuff it down in there and get back to it at a later time, because I'm kind of losing daylight here today. But if you were to do this properly, I would think you'd probably have to take off the insulation a little bit anyway in order to get in here fully, in order to pop those 2 in. So once again, not saying I'm doing it the correct way, so take from it what you will. But at any rate, let's go ahead and stuff these in here. In there, that one there, so right there. And then plug that guy into there, slide that forward, good to go. Now I guess before we get going too ahead of ourselves, plug this bad boy in, see if she works. Nice. Awesome. Now how I'm going to attach it is you can flip the back portion of this open like that. And then once I get this thing plugged in, leave it open a little bit like that. Stuff our little pin in there. Close this up hopefully. I don't know, I might not have enough room. Might end up having to take this insulation down anyway. That guy in there. There you can see. Light turns off. Light turns. How does this supposed to work? Okay. Well, that way, because I can't be putting it like this. I'm glad I'm doing this now before I go trying to attach it that way. So the light must be oriented with the connection up, because that's off, mimicking the hood being closed. Hood opening, it turns on. Alright. Good to know now before I get the thing all the way up in there. Yeah, there's no way I'm attaching that, because this does not separate. I'm pretty sure I can pop this plastic piece off, but there's no way I can get this affixed in there and then plug it in. So I'm going to have to take the insulation down. Okay, so just so you guys can see how I did this, I just bent down this little clip here, bent back this bigger clip up here, and there was a plastic rivet that held up the insulation right here in this hole. Kind of foobarred that when I took it out with a little pry bar guy there. But fortunately, in that package of push pins I got for attaching the actual light, I think it should work well to replace this piece here so that this isn't flopping around. I think that should gain me enough access. Shine some light in there. I think there's, if you guys can see that, this rivet, there's a hole right there. There's another hole up in there kind of that you can't really see. So I'm going to see if I can't worm my way around in there and get this thing all hooked up. Yeah, I think there's another hole even farther up in there for this thing, so it can sort of loop up and then come back down to plug into the light, because like I showed earlier, this has to be plugged into the light with the light plug facing towards the front of the hood. Alright, so I got the light in. It'd be kind of difficult for me to illustrate doing it, so didn't film that portion of it. I'm going to line it up just a little bit, and then I can get the insulation all tucked back in. I got, let's see if I can turn my light on here. Got the rest of those fir tree clips, by the name, in the holes. And there's one that's, I don't know if you guys can see that or not. It's up in there just above the light. So that the harness sort of makes a big hook back into the top of the light there. And then pretty self-explanatory, just hold there, one there, and then back into the wiring harness back here. I'm just going to push this up. I should be able to just bend that right back in there. And that right back up there. Should work. I think. Let's see. Yeah, it should fit in that hole. That's what she said. Yeah. Boom. Now let's see. Is it gonna go off? And back on. And off. And on. Perfect. There we go. I think that's Underhood light all installed in a 2014 Ram Tradesman edition. A Tradesman trim. We'll see how well this works. Ta-da! Quick underhood shot of the illumination the light provides, which, while it may not be all that evident on the video here, it's pretty good light. Certainly enough to be able to pull dipsticks and see fluid levels and whatnot, should you need to do that or that sort of thing. Top up oil or something. But anywho, there she be. Illumination for the dark.